Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Katie and today I'm going to show you how I don't know why I did that weird thing. Today I'm going to show you how I maintain my curls. Every time I post a picture or a video with my natural hair, I get so many questions on it. And yes, it is natural. I'm not a pro. I did not go to cosmetology school, but I'm going to show you all the tips and tricks and the products that I use that work for me personally. So I just got back from the gym. This is day probably 6 hair, wearing it in a top knot, but I'm washing it today because it needs to be washed. Tomorrow's Sunday, I'm going to church, so I figure my hair should be a little bit nicer. I'm gonna take it down. First thing I recommend, whether you have curly hair or straight hair, are these things. These are Invisibobbles and they are so, so good, especially with curly hair. They keep my hair from getting like a major kink in it, especially when I'm working out. Obviously, I mean, it's kind of messy right now because I've been wearing it in a messy bun for the past couple days, but Invisibobbles are a must for everyone. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna show you how I go from this to this. When you have curly hair, the trick is to not like run your fingers through it or not brush it out once you've gotten it wet, because you want your curls to kind of clump together and maintain their curl pattern. So I only brush my hair before I shower. I've really been loving this Bath Pat brush. It's like a dupe for the wet brush, but it's like a third of the price. I've been really liking this lately. So I always start with brushing my hair before I shower. I just got back from the gym. I'm about to hop in the shower, but I'm gonna show you how I brush through my hair first. Because I don't brush through my hair while it's dry, it can get super tangly, especially on day 5 or 6 of my hair. So I do like put it up and kind of brush it out in the layers to make sure that I am not like pulling on it and causing too much damage. I always grab my hair like mid shaft, I guess, and brush the ends out first, and then slowly work my way upwards. That helps to get the knots and the tangles out without like tearing my hair. However, this brush I found is the best for like actually gliding through the hair, but with curls, you get it. Your hair can be extra tangly. By the way, not sponsored, but it's worth it. I'm always gonna talk about things that I love, and this is $5 freaking. So on day like 1 and 2, I'll wear my hair down, and then day like 3 and 4, I'll wear it in like a top knot, like a half up top knot. So that's why it's like kind of crazy up top. This is great. I've never filmed myself doing this before. It's kind of embarrassing. I usually do it like right before I hop in the shower, so I don't really look at it. Okay, let's head on over to my shower. I'm gonna bring you along, show you, I can't take myself seriously. I'm gonna bring you along, show you what I do. Not totally in the shower, obviously. I'm gonna bring you along because applying the product, I do it all in the shower. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. So come join. Okay, the very first thing I use in the shower is this Pulp Riot purple shampoo. It's their Barcelona shampoo. It is the best purple shampoo that I've used because it's super hydrating, but it really cancels out any yellow tones or brassy tones. So this is what I use to really maintain my silver hair. If you don't have silver hair like me, but you have curly hair and you just want a good shampoo for curly hair, the Diva Curl No Poo Original Zero Lather Conditioning Cleanser. This is really great as well. I actually will use it like almost every other time that I do my hair curly. I really, really like it. It doesn't lather, so it is kind of weird, but it does help rid your hair of like all the product buildup. Okay, after I've washed my hair, I will go in with the Diva Curl One Condition Original Daily Cream Conditioner. I love this stuff for when I'm wearing my hair curly. I don't use it when I do my hair straight because it adds a ton of moisture and it almost feels a little too much with my straight hair. but when I wear my hair curly, this is my go-to. So what I do with this is I actually will put it in my hand. I'll pump a huge dollop in my hand, and then I rub it all through my hair, making sure to comb it from roots to ends. This is the very last time that I'm going to run my fingers or brush through my hair is when I'm using this stuff, and then I just let it sit for maybe a couple minutes while I shave my legs or wash my face, all that jazz. Next up is the Ultra Defining Gel by Diva Karl. I love this stuff because it doesn't feel crunchy or crispy at all in my hair. It's just really nice and it holds my curls really, really well without causing any frizz or like crunchiness to my hair. I just rinsed it out and now my hair is completely sopping wet. I have not touched it with a towel yet. I wring out as much as I can with my hands, and then I take a big dollop of the gel. I have the gel in both my hands and I pancake my hair in between my hands. This helps disperse it. Be sure to not run your fingers through your hair though. Just pancake it all over. And then I'll tip my head upside down and start scrunching from the bottom up. If you very first go in and start scrunching from the bottom up without pancaking, you are going to apply most of the product to the ends of your hair and it's not going to be dispersed through the roots of your hair, which actually that's where I like the most product to be, is through the roots of my hair. I don't mind if the ends of my hair are a little bit straighter. Once I've dispersed that gel all through my hair, then I will take a microfiber towel. You wanna make sure it's a really soft microfiber towel, or you can use a cotton t-shirt, but you want something that doesn't have friction. Friction will cause frizz. So make sure that it's a really smooth, soft towel, microfiber towel, or a cotton t-shirt. I squeeze and get as much excess water out as I possibly can. I like to do this with one towel, and then I'll take my Turby twist, which I'm totally obsessed with, and I will stick my hair in the Turby twist to let it sit for a little bit. Now you'll notice that I'm pushing all the hair to the top of my head. That way it just all sits on top of my head and holds the curl pattern in while I go get dressed, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, welcome back to this familiar background place. I guess it's actually kind of new because I set up some stuff on my table back there. Anyway, I have been letting my hair sit for a little bit. I did my skincare, I got dressed, I put lotion on my body, all that jazz. So now I'm gonna take this out. And remember how we like crunched all of our hair to the top of it? So a lot of it has stayed pretty good. It didn't like straighten out or anything. Next thing I'm going to do, and I don't do this every time, but I've been doing it more recently and I really enjoy it. So I'm gonna use the Diva Karl Super Cream Coconut Curl Styler. It smells so good. I don't know why I smelled that. It smells so, so good. And this stuff I use when I restyle my hair too. So like on day 2 or 3 or 4, if I ever need to just like revamp it all, I'll spray sections of it with water and put some of this on it, and it kind of revamps it up. So all you need is like one pump. One pump is plenty. We're gonna do the same pancake thing that we did when we were in the shower. When we were in the shower. Just to make sure that it gets everywhere, rather than just crunching. Remember, if we just crunch from the bottom, all the product is gonna be down here. We're not gonna get product up in here. So pancake it in first, and then you can start crunching. Notice I'm not combing my hair through though, because I like the way that my hair clumps together, like my curls clump together like this. And if I start combing it, it's gonna break up those curls, so I don't want to do that. Okay, now I'm going to find my part. So my hair naturally parts kind of just right here because that's where I part it most days. So I want to make sure my hair parts right there. I used to like just kind of flip my hair and let it be all different ways. But then when I tried to wear it down, it like was all different ways and it would get in my eyes and it was kind of a pain in the butt. So I do separate it right where my part is. And then the next trick that I like to do is these little guys. So these are mini alligator clips. I actually bought them to put on my daughter's bows so I could switch all of her like headbands to clip-on bows, I guess. but these work so perfectly for what I'm gonna show you. Whenever I just let my hair dry this way, it gives me triangle head. I just have a triangle head, and I have gone to get my hair cut, like done the curly cut and everything, and I don't like that because I do still like to wear my hair straight some days. So I don't do the curly cut that's specific for your hair type or your curls, I guess. I just get my hair cut normally, and then I do this trick to give me the volume right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these little clips and I'm gonna find the natural waves in my hair. I don't wanna clip against a natural wave because that just makes it look funny. So I'm going to find these natural waves in my hair and clip and like push them upwards. This is going to give me volume in these areas right here because it's going to take the natural wave and push it upwards. That way I don't have to walk around with my head upside down until my hair dries. So I do it basically just right here around like the crown or like the top layer of my head. Pretty much just where I need volume so that I don't have a triangle head. And I like to do it even more around the front of my face because it does help to define my like natural curls just a little bit more. And I will link these in the description bar. I'll link everything that I use in the description bar. But seriously, I got like this whole bag was full. It's like 100 of them, I think, for like 10 bucks or something on Amazon. Obviously, I have more hair on this side, so I like to do more clips on this side so that it's not as triangle-y. And then I'm done. I'm just kidding. I do like to spray a little bit of this argan oil. It just really like helps to moisturize. I like to let my hair air dry as much as I possibly can. Some days I'm a little more rushed than others. So right now I'm gonna let my hair air dry while I do my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and show you how I diffuse it on days that I am in more of a hurry and I have to actually diffuse it and I don't have the time to let it air dry. Okay, makeup is on. I just did super basic. I've got Mocha Java and Copper Rose in my crease, Candlelight all over the lid, Onyx along my lash line. Nothing too fancy. I have Pink Berry blush on my cheeks, which is different than what I normally do, but I really like the pink pop. And then my lips are just beige champagne. Basic gold beige champagne. I forgot how much I love this color. It's like a really good, just everyday color. I don't think about it, but I feel like it looks good on everyone. It's a great starter color. Now I'm gonna show you what I do with this hair to finish it off. So it's starting to dry, like some of the ends, especially underneath, are more dry, which is what I like. That's what I'm going for. This baby is my saving grace. Now, it's super expensive, and I would not recommend it for every single person. Well, I do recommend it for every single person on the planet, but it's very expensive, and if you have really fine hair, really thin hair, hair that dries really quickly, I don't think you need to invest your money in this. But if you've got hair that's like mine, if you've got thick hair, hair that takes a while to dry, you want one of these babies. I'm not kidding you when I tell you that this guy dries my hair in half the time that my other blow dryers did. I used to use the Babyliss blow dryer. I think that's how you say it, Babyliss? Anyway, it's a super highly recommended blow dryer. It's great, but it didn't do the job for me. My hair takes forever to dry. So this guy seriously saves my life. And it's so awesome with the diffuser too, because it doesn't blow your hair all crazy. So it doesn't create frizz, it doesn't create friction. It just really like truly diffuses the air and dries your hair. It's amazing. And it's been really great for round brushing my hair too, because that's another thing. When I do my hair straight, I have to round brush it every single time. I can't just let it dry and then straighten it. I have to round brush it, and this stuff cuts down the time. So my Dyson blow dryer is my baby. So here's what I do. I turn the heat down, that's this button right here. I turn it down to the very lowest, and then I turn the air down to the very lowest as well. So I'm just gonna blow out some warm air. And I'm going to start by blow drying these sections up here that I pinned up first. That's pretty good. I'm gonna let that sit and start to cool down while I work on the rest of my hair. Here's another trick when you're diffusing your hair. Don't go from the bottom up. That is going to create so much bulk right here, and you're not gonna disperse the hair as much here. Like if you crunch from the bottom up with your diffuser, it makes you look more like a triangle head. That's all I'm gonna say. If you feel like you want to accentuate your curls, I recommend like crunching from here up and leaving the ends out. So you could like tip your head and kind of do this to accentuate your curls. But if you totally go like this, it just creates so much more bulk at the bottom. And for me, especially with my length of hair, I do not need that. I don't need to really like add much more curl to my hair either. I just want to dry it the way that it is. So what I do is I lay it flat on my diffuser like this and just let it blow. This is why I like to let my hair air dry, because it literally takes forever to blow dry it on low heat. Well, not forever. It takes a long time to dry it on low heat, but I got it pretty good. So I'm gonna show you what's next. This is actually the point that I usually let my hair air dry to anyway. Whenever I air dry my hair, I always finish it off with the blow dry. I feel like it just totally kind of sets it and makes sure that everything is like super, super dry. And sometimes, every once in a while, I'll have to go in and add, like style a few pieces with hot tools, especially the ends of my hair, because my hair is so short, if the ends of my hair are too curly, I feel like I look like a Cocker Spaniel with like their ears. And so sometimes I'll flat iron the ends of my hair, and if I flat iron the ends when they're wet, ooh, that damage is so, so bad. I always, always, always finish off with some blow dryer. So I'm gonna show you what I do. I'm at the point where if my hair is air drying, this is where I leave it, or this is where I come back and grab my blow dryer. And I just wanna make sure that this is as dry as I possibly can get it. So I'm gonna go back to the crown of my head. Now is when we take out these little guys, and your hair might look a little bit funny. It might have like weird kinks in it. That's okay. Generally, your hair's not gonna be totally dry in this area, especially where you put these clips. So it's fine. We're gonna like kind of blow dry that out. Or you could just let it air dry out too. Be careful when you're pulling them out not to comb through your hair like I just did on that piece, because that's what happens. It doesn't stay clumped. So you do want to be very careful when taking these out. Going to take this hair, flip it this way, and blast it with the diffuser to make sure it's totally dry. Doing it this way also just gives some more lift and volume to your hair, but since it's already mostly dry, it's gonna go back and hold the way that we had it clipped, if that makes sense. You could also flip your head upside down and do it. I'll just go out of camera if I do that. A lot of people with curly hair, or even if you don't have curly hair, have probably heard flip your head upside down and diffuse it like this. I don't do that, I already explained why, but for this part, you could flip it upside down and diffuse it. It seems like a lot of steps. I feel like it's a lot of steps, and I think it's probably because usually I just let it air dry for as long as I possibly can, and then just blast it with the heat for just a sec. Another tip is the less movement you apply to your hair while it's wet, the better. That's why air drying is so good, because there's not going to be the hot air blowing. It's going to really dry in place, and then you can shake it all out. That's another reason why I recommend using those alligator clips rather than like flipping your hair back and forth like I used to, because more movement breaks apart the curl pattern, and it's just going to make it look more frizzy and less curly when it does dry. So now that my hair is dry, it looks a little crunchy, it looks a little crusty. Okay, what I'm gonna do next, I do have to tip my head for, and so I'm gonna explain it first and then show you. So I'm gonna stick my fingers in just at the roots of my hair and then shake, and that's gonna break apart the crunchiness, but it's going to maintain the curl pattern because I'm not running my fingers through it, breaking up those curls. But I do it standing up. So stick my fingers in and then just kind of shake, shake. And then you can kind of crunch it and feel it like break it up. Now you look like a crazy person. So on day one, I normally like will braid this part back or pin it back because I like big hair, but I feel like this is a little much. Or sometimes I'll even take these pieces and flip them so I can have like a big whoosh, you know, if that makes sense. So whatever your little heart desires, you can style it however you want. Remember how I said though that sometimes my bottoms are like really curled and I look like a Cocker Spaniel? I'm gonna fix that right now. I'm just going to take my flat iron. This is the Numi flat iron. I've had it for probably close to 5 years now. It works really well for me, I love it. And, dang it, I don't have my heat protectant spray on me. Normally I'd spray that in. So I'm gonna take my flat iron on very low heat and just kind of flatten the ends just a little bit. Curly hair people all over the world are probably cringing right now watching this, but it's what I gotta do with the length that my hair is right now. Then I'll finish it off with a little bit more of this oil. I love this because it's super lightweight. It's not very greasy, and so you can spray it on wet or dry hair. And we all know that curly hair needs a lot of moisture. And last but not least, I know those are kind of a lot of steps, but trust me, it works, and my hair lasts a really long time because of it. I'm gonna take some of this Kristin S water shine pomade. It really helps with frizz, and you only need like a tiny, tiny amount. And I just kind of crunch it all over. It gives a little more texture. It breaks up like the crunchiness, but it helps to like maintain my curls still while reducing frizz. And then that's it. Once you've got your hair the way you want it, don't touch it. I try very hard to not touch it throughout the day because the more you touch it, the more movement you add to it, the more frizzy it's gonna get and the less curly it's going to be. Now I know you're gonna ask, at night, I sleep with as much of my hair on top of my head as possible. Now because my hair is short, I can't try and pull all of it up because if I pull all of it up, the bottom layer, when I wake up, will be sticking out that way. It's really hard. So I pull like from my ears up to the crown of my head up and sleep with it in either a silk scrunchie or a really loose Invisibobble hair tie, which is what I showed at the beginning, or just like a clip, like a big claw clip, and I just sleep with it on top of my head. That helps to maintain the volume and also keeps me from like rolling around on my hair and messing with it and creating more frizz. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions or if you did enjoy this, if you enjoy the hair tutorials. Like I mentioned, I'm not a pro, but this is just what works for me. I will link all the products that I used in the description bar. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.